Allah describes him as someone who grieves, right? So we're talking about the intensity of emotion in the khutbah. He had a lot inside. He had a soft heart. SubhanAllah, this is of the mission of the prophets. They are a mercy in their prophethood. And the Prophet ﷺ, the last and final prophet, is rahmatan lil alameen, a mercy to the world. لَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ نَفْسَكَ عَلَى آثَارِهِمْ. It hurts him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what is said to him, and then the fate of those that are saying these things to him. It hurts him. They have soft hearts. They are the softest hearted of people to ever walk the face of the earth, because the softer your heart, the greater your rank in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Ibrahim alayhi salam used to take a lot from the people, and he had a tender heart. He was awwah. So how does he deal with that? He's munib. He's turned back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, frequently turning back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like if I could give you a visual of this ayah, think about the first part, لَحَلِيمٌ. You imagine the people hurting him, yelling at him, and his ability to be patient with that. Awwah, when he's all alone and he is grieving and he is crying and he is feeling the pain of what is being done. Munib, turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and funneling all of that into his ibadah, into his dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, into his supplication, into his prayer, into his worship. There's a method here. And you could see in Yaqub alayhi salam that he's halimun awahun munib. And you could see in Yusuf alayhi salam that he's halimun awahun munib. All three of those characteristics are demonstrated in their story. In the case of Yaqub alayhi salam, you have to be extremely forbearing to be able to deal with the pain that is being caused to you by your sons. He's taking a lot from them. Not just that they kidnapped his son and threw him away, but that they also lied to him and they're mocking him in his pain and calling him a deluded old man, a delusional old man. Why can't you get over it? And what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? That وَبْيَضَّتْ عَيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْحُزُنِ فَهُوَ كَظِيمٌ. He cried himself blind. إِنَّمَا أَشْكُو بَثِّي وَحُزْنِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. Crying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, awah, but إِلَى اللَّهِ, munib. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَهُوَ كَظِيمٌ. He swallowed it. He swallowed it, right? وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظِ. Those that swallow their pain. He swallowed his emotions, his pain, and he took it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you see the element of forbearing, grieving, turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Forbearing, grieving, turn back to Allah. Now it's very interesting, because then you come to Yusuf alayhi salam, the last one in this equation, in this sequence. Ishaq alayhi salam, we don't see any pain being caused to him in the Quran, right? But Allah knows the life of a Nabi always comes with its challenges, right? The life of a prophet always comes with its challenges. But Yusuf alayhi salam, when Yusuf's in front of his brothers and he is in a position of power and they don't know who he is, and they say, in Yasriq, if he steals, right? If he stole, meaning Binyamin, then he had a brother that stole before, just like him, meaning they insulted Yusuf alayhi salam, not realizing they were standing right in front of him. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say about Yusuf alayhi salam? فَأَسَرَّهَا يُوسُفُ فِي نَفْسِهِ. Yusuf swallowed it to himself. Like that burned, stings. And he said, قَالَ أَنْتُمْ شَرٌّ مَكَانًا. That you are in an evil place. Wallahu a'lamu bima tasifun. And Allah knows what you're planning. SubhanAllah, think about how profound this is. So first of all, you see again, awah, that he is halim, he's taking a lot. I mean, for him to not just like take his brothers out in the moment, that takes a lot of patience. We always talk about Yusuf alayhi salam in the end and his willingness to forgive them. Most of us, if you saw your brothers after all those years after they threw you in the well, the moment that you set your sight on them and you're in a position of power, you're going to say to the rest of the people in Egypt, I have some business to take care of. Come, اتفضلوا, let's go to the Nile River, right? You jump me into a well, it's time to get rid of you. Most of us would say, all right, revenge, right away, as soon as we see them, right? We'd want to take our revenge back. Yusuf is holding it all in. He's being patient with them. And then they insulted him. And he's still being patient with them. And Allah is showing us how he's awah. أَسَرَّهَا يُوسُفُ فِي نَفْسِهِ. Like it was inside of him when they said that comment. And so much so, subhanAllah, he was turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so much so that Allah recorded the words he said to himself for us to recite today. Think about how profound this is. SubhanAllah, Yusuf alayhi salam said something to himself. قَالَ أَنْتُمْ شَرٌّ مَكَانًا وَاللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ بِمَا تَصِفُونَ. What an evil position you all are in, and Allah knows what you're planning. He said it to himself, and imagine if there's like a microphone on the inside of the heart and amplifying it. What he said to himself in his pain is in the Quran. Meaning billions of people have recited out loud what a man said to himself in that pain as he swallowed it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.